fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Once again, we are here with the $1 Trading Show. And today, with me, Nick, once again, to talk about is this a super cycle for prediction markets? What do you think, Nick? I don't know.
I
Let's
don't know.
dive into
I
that.
think I think crypto loves the phrase supercycle and just throws that shit out there when they want to build a narrative around something, and it doesn't always work. But we'll see,
Okay.
because I thought we were in the meme coin supercycle, but like alt season got
Is
his
that
ass
over?
handed to it 4 or 5 times this year, and never happened. So I think I must. I don't know. I think we're in the. I don't know if we're in a supercycle. I think we're in a groundswell rather than a supercycle.
Can we have multiple super cycles at the same time?
I don't know. I don't know if that's feasible.
Without retail joining us?
Well, I don't think we can have a supercycle without retail.
I don't
So
think
if
so.
somebody can tell me when retail is going to show up, I will go to bed until 2 days before it, and then I'll come in with my bags and get ready.
Yeah, and but making my point once again about funds. Yesterday, I was reading that each funds had the greatest inflow of all the time, and that's what I talk about. So retail, in the end, when they see prices going high, they buy. When they see the prices
Yeah,
going down, they sell.
yeah, yeah.
Right. So
They
I
buy the
mean,
greens, and
of course,
we
yeah,
buy the reds.
they don't want to buy falling knives. But so maybe that could be a sign that the super cycle is here. At least we
Mm,
are getting more retail. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know.
we'll see.
Let's see. So to start, let's go to this post here. So I have a lot of things to talk about with you today, and Nick will help me out with this. First, before we talk about the potential super cycle for prediction markets, let's understand why John Wang is joining Cauchy. Then, first of all, let's understand who the fuck is John Wang. So, John Wang is really young, and he already worked with Paradigm, which is a crypto investment firm. He worked as well at Immutable. If you remember Immutable, they are a blockchain tailored for gaming. It used to be pretty big. I don't know how it is. I'm not been following Immutable anymore. I'm not into
Gaming narrative
games.
isn't here yet because
It's
retail
not
have been.
right. I remember the last cycle, everybody was talking about how you could be rich with crypto gaming. I don't know. I mean, I play games because they're fun, not because they give me money. But anyway, so he also founded a security firm called Armor Labs, which was sold. So now he kind of became a famous person, not a traditional influencer, but he has some influence in the crypto Twitter. And now he joined Kaushi. Basically, he's 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 highlighting here how he decided to join Kaushi, because it seems that although Kaushi is not on the blockchain yet, like Polymarket,
Yeah,
it seems to be the next phase for Cauchy. So yeah, it tells us a lot. And in the end of this article here, we have some news for you guys, and I want to know your perspective on that. So basically, he tells a little bit how how prediction markets grew on him, and he says that he's an Australian, and he was walking around on Broadway in last election during the US election, and he was kind of impressed about the Cauchy billboard. And he says, "Oh, I wasn't able to participate in the elections, but for the first time, I felt plugged into a global hive mind because people were discussing the elections on a global level. You know, even though they couldn't participate voting, they could participate by speculating, by making their forecasts." using Cauchy and poly market, something that we discussed here multiple times. So basically, he highlights that even when people have small stakes in any kind of future events, they tend to go deeper on that because they have money in the line. So just I disagree just a little bit, and I don't know how you do this, Nick, but here with my friends, every time there's a nice sports game happening, dude, everybody got WhatsApp or Telegram or whatever, and we watch the game even though we are not together, just commenting the game with friends on your phones, sending messages and
Yeah.
bragging and complaining about, oh, your team's not doing well, this kind of stuff.
Same
I
thing
mean,
happens with TV shows. People do that shit with TV shows,
exactly, right?
right?
Dancing with the stars and all that bullshit, right? People do
Yeah.
that. I mean, you don't need actually to have money in line to have more interested. But of course, when you have money in line, you have something to lose. It's another level of interest. And prediction
Yeah.
markets allow these two people to become more engaged in different fronts: political, financial, and cultural. So when he believes that this demand, and we also believe this is we've been talking here every day, that this demand will intensify.
Yeah.
And he talks about a conversion about culture, media, and politics with Wall Street. Do you like to comment on that, Nick?
Say it again. What was that
he,
last
he,
moment?
he, he he says that he thinks there's a convergence between culture, media, politics, and Wall Street. And this is what we've
Yeah, I mean,
seen with prediction, I think.
it's a place for them all to converge at once. I think it's not new, right? So like the traders that I know also bet on sports quite heavily. They're quite degenerate. Like all the kind of even some of the private investment guys, they're all speculators and they'll speculate on anything they understand or think they can make money on, right? And it doesn't
Hmm.
matter if they're highly prestige people on, $1 million a year working for hedge funds, or they're just guys on like trading behind a desk. They're heavy speculators. I mean, like, yeah, it's always been there, but this is like intermingling them, which I think is much cooler. It kind of breaks down all these silos, and I think that's what cryptos try to do in general, right? Break down all the silos, mixes all together, like let everybody
Hmm.
participate. So yeah, I think that overlap's always been there, but now we can actually be in the same places,
Yeah, and I think,
doing the same different the myriad of topics that you can get in a prediction
mhm,
market is
yes,
the new thing.
I think it broadens the opportunity. It broadens the chance to spot an opportunity. If you
Hmm.
understand an area and if you see an opportunity to make some money, wouldn't you take that? And
Exactly.
now it's
Yep.
not only related to finance; it's related to politics, to culture, to
Yep.
sports, wherever you can think about it. So basically, he
Hmm.
he he highlights how Cauchy started back in 2018, and so Polymarket. If you remember, Polymarket started to tell a couple of years later, but only now we are seeing this massive distribution. And he highlights how Cauchy is betting in partnerships with Robinhood, Webull, and another new ones, TradFi, fronts that they didn't state so far. And in the end, and this is what I think really interesting, he says thanks to a few people, and one of them is Kyle Samani. And if you don't know who Kyle Samani is, he's from Multicoin Capital, which is one of the biggest investment firms in crypto. And
Hmm.
they have betting strong, heavily on Solana. I remember a couple of years ago, I was
They
at
also invested in
Permission.
Say, right?
They invested on
That
multiple blockchains.
which is
That
which is where we were building ours on Say.
or yes, we are building Groovy on Say. So it's super cheap, super fast, super reliable. So I would speculate that maybe we will see Cauchy moving to what? To Say or to Solana? I don't know. What do you think? If
Mm.
you have any clue, leave a comment to let us know what you think. I would
Give us the
say
alpha.
yes. I don't know. I don't know what to say, but I remember back in permissionless, I was watching him discussing with the bankless guys about why Solana was better than Ethereum. So he's a big cheerleader for Solana. Anyway, I mean it's on the details that we get these kind of information. Let's see. So the fact
It
is,
might be signal. It might just be
it
nonsense in
might
your
be
head.
not. It might be
Who knows?
nothing. Yeah,
Who
it might be
knows?
nothing, but it might be something. So the fact is, we will see Cauchy moving on chain soon, maybe sooner than later. So let's see
Yeah, I
where they
think
will
I
make the move.
I think that's where it'll go as well.
Yeah,
Or maybe they'll launch a parallel one as a blockchain one. I guess only
could be
them
right.
they know because only they don't really understand their user base and like is there. I think it's interesting that they've got a head of crypto and the head of crypto talks broadly about the whole platform, right? For
Mm-hmm.
me, that's a leading indicator. Like why, like this guy is incredibly vocal and seems to have a lot of presence in Kalshi and
Mm-hmm.
able to state things about Kalshi. So
Yeah.
I think that alone, how vocal their head of crypto is, and how he is pushing hiring and asking people to come with ideas to Kalshi, that
And,
for me sounds like like something crypto will happen.
and this is interesting to see how Cauchy and Polymarket they are taking different approaches because Polymarket started only as a closed crypto project and
Mhm.
then started to go outside crypto, to partnerships, now to buy companies with licenses in the US. And Cowshed used it the other way. Cowshed didn't care
Yeah,
for crypto in the beginning. I mean, their founders, they are experts in math from MIT, so they
are
understand.
they? I didn't know that.
They are, yeah, at least the two ones who are right now in charge of Cauchy. So it's interesting that they understand the dynamics of markets and prediction
Mhm.
markets, and then they started to go into crypto. Of course, there's the transparency, the security, all the benefits from having a prediction market on a blockchain. This is why we are doing this way. And so it's different. Polymarket started in crypto and then starting to just trying to go out of crypto. And Kaushi is doing the other way around. Started to make these partnerships with TradFi, and now it's moving forward to crypto after everything is established. So there's a big potential to get people outside the crypto niche, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's interesting because both of them, as far as I know, both of them have had like kind of legal issues, but as far as I can tell, in the US, it's only Kalshi that's been dragged through the courts, and they've won it every time that they've had that, which is really great. Whereas Polymarket obviously set up like a kind of regular crypto business, making it difficult to regulate.
Hmm.
But the founder's house was raided by the FBI right after the election
Yeah.
because they called the election so accurately. They thought that he was rigging the election.
He
I,
had some
I don't know
insider
how some guy from
information.
crypto just rigs an election. That's more
Yeah.
like that's more like the billionaires that already exist that can do that sort of thing. Not some guy who's just kind of like popped up with this great little tool on the internet, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah. So moving forward here, so we have two things to talk about Cauchy as well, just to highlight how Cauchy is paying 4% interest on your cash deposits and open positions on the platform. So we've been talking about how different, I mean, remember, Cauchy is not on the blockchain, but we've been talking how we can use prediction markets positions as a DeFi Lego thinking about crypto. So basically, it's not that hard for them. I don't know where this yield comes from, where this interest comes from. I would say maybe you can buy treasury bonds with high liquidity. You deposit the user's money there. Whenever you want to withdraw your money, you sell the bonds, you pay them back, and you still can make some money from that. I mean, it's harder to do that in crypto, and this is something that we've been discussing at Groovy.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you do that in crypto? I mean, making a user interface really easy for people, applying social logins. So, for example, in Groovy, we are using Dynamic, so you don't need a crypto wallet to use Groovy. If you go right now to groovy.market to get your username, you will see you just need your Twitter account or Google account, and then we will create a wallet for you in the background. So you don't need to hold keys or anything like that. But how do you do that, and how you deposit people's money on any kind of protocol, making sure that people's funds are safe and they know exactly what is going on?
Safe, and they can. Well, safe is relative, right? Like I don't think you can.
Yeah, yeah,
If a hack occurs, a hack occurs, right? But
yes.
it's how do you do it without locking it in? Like any yield in crypto needs to be more or less locked, unless you're depositing fucking absolute tons and tons of it. Um, so yeah, it'd be interesting to. I mean, we should just maybe comment. Why don't you comment? Why don't you comment right now? How are you generating the yield? Do it. Comment right now. How you get? We're just talking about this on. Just say we're just
Yeah.
talking about this on our live stream. Like, how do you do this? Like, where are you getting your yield from? Because that's the interesting thing for me. It's just like, well, where's that coming from? Do I post the link to the thing?
Yeah,
Go
yeah, yeah.
shell us. I'll give you it right now. I'm going to stick it in
Yeah.
the private chat.
Send
There.
send me
That's
the
that's
link
the link
here.
to it.
Okay.
Or no, the link to the live stream.
Yeah. No, no, I'm gonna put this here. Yeah. This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's it. I mean, let's
So
see.
yeah, because I mean, I presume theirs will be different from ours, right? Like
Yeah,
from a crypto one, but
this is
I
not on
don't know how
chain.
in crypto you do it without locking things up. Like how you would need to have quite a lot of money in your account that isn't moving in and out of markets.
And you needed good integration because, so for example, in Groovy, we are abstracting everything, so we sponsor fees. Depending on
Yeah,
the chain that you are and how often people are depositing and withdrawing their money, okay,
hmm
someone has to cover that fees. How do
yeah.
you
The
do that in an
gas is
efficient
paid for.
way? Yes, every someone
Yeah,
has to pay for the gas. Gladly, we are on Say, which is super cheap chain, so we would be
yeah.
able to do that. But you need to
It's,
have
it's the same with Polymarket, right? Like they cover the fees.
your
They take a bit at the end for the protocol, like we will, but
mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah.
it's in the end they cover the fees because nobody wants to pay trading fees. This is why Robinhood is so big. It's
Mm-hmm.
feeless, right? Like nobody wants to
Yes.
pay trading fees.
Yeah.
So and I read an article between I think it was uh Polka Market, which was on Polkadot, and
Polkadot. Sorry,
yeah, I
sorry
don't
for
remember
sorry if you like Polkadot, but dude, that still
what's
exists.
going on there.
What's going on in
Anyway, they had
Polkadot?
they had a
Yeah.
lot of money and probably still do.
Yeah, they're still
But
there.
they had fees. They were charging gas fees on Polkadot, and Polymarket wasn't. So it's an easy when you're making small margin trades and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
fees make a difference in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've been showing this. So we are opening positions at $1 and $2, just to test our strategies.
Yeah,
Imagine if you have to pay like 1 cent, 2 cents every time you open a position. Okay, I want to deposit my money. I want to see my money generating yields. Okay, but now you have to pay 1 cent, and depending the amount of money you deposit there, you need to leave the
yeah.
money there a few days to get that one
That well,
cent
that's
back,
what I'm getting at. Is
and
like
then
if
you
you
have to
don't, if
withdraw. You pay fees
yeah,
again. So
yeah, yeah. It
yeah,
can
I
only
mean,
this stuff can only happen on cheap chains. Like I can't see a prediction market happening on directly on Ethereum, right?
oh
Or
no, not at all. Yeah,
Bitcoin or anything like that. It
even
has to
even in,
happen in
even in
fast chains.
Solana, even in Solana, I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can do that on Say as we are doing, but that's the thing. I mean, we need to make sure that integrations are perfect, that user funds are secure, there's enough liquidity to deposit and withdraw, and it makes sense that the interest that you get is enough to pay for any risk that you
yeah,
incur, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's see what he replies. Hopefully tomorrow we will get an answer for you where this interest
That would
comes
be
from.
nice. That would be
Yes.
nice.
So this one it is really interesting too. So we've been talking about how news and prediction markets they communicate. Not that prediction markets will substitute the news or anything like that. So this guy is basically creating a tool that lets you tap news sources to markets in which you have open positions. So imagine you have open positions for politics, culture, and crypto,
Mm,
whatever, and then you can plug sources of news. And every time that some potential news come that can alter the situation of your market, you will be notified, and you will be able to spot, okay, what is the what's going on with the market after the news came out.
yeah. I can see that being a pretty fun tool to use, right? I've apparently if you comment on the post, he'll send you. You can get access to the demo. So I commented on the post because I
Okay.
think I love shit like this. This stuff is really cool. How useful it is in trading, I'm not sure. Um, like because it kind of goes into like, is the news a lagging indicator of what's going on, or does it, or is it like what's the opposite from a lag? Is it pre? I've not got a word for it. The opposite of lag right now. Um, so if it's information that pushes it, that will change the market moving forward, the quicker you can get access to that information, the better, right? So like this is why there's stuff like PIQ Suite, which has it pulls in all the information that traders need to see because it's going to affect their day, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What this on steroids could be like, and I've not seen it and played with it, I'm just imagining like how it works,
Mm-hmm.
is if you could automatically trade on the sentiment of that news, right? So you could set it up saying like, um, if news comes in and there's like maybe there's like a you would need, right? If news comes in at a certain and there's 50 articles, sell my position immediately. You know, it's just like that quickly. So you're just kind of automating it, but I don't know. You would need to back test all this and see if it actually works.
So let me invite him.
Oh, that'd
Uh,
be so cool! Yeah, invite the builders. Bring the
yeah,
builders. We
I'd
like
like
the
to join
builders.
us to talk about it more. Yeah, why not? I mean, I actually want to understand what's going on.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
is he doing? And something that we've been discussing here is that, okay, how we can make sure that which news are important for which markets, right? Because we've been discussing about how the guys from Dunsburg were not looking at the news to understand if the Strait of, I don't know the name of this strait, it will be closed. Actually, they were not caring for how war would escalate. Actually, they were looking for the commodities price related to oil. So I mean, which kind of news can have an impact to the markets itself, and this kind of tool could be something
yeah. That
great
sort of
to,
stuff.
yeah, to help us
Be-
understand that.
Because this sort of stuff's already going on, in, like hedge funds and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm,
having
mm-hmm,
it
mm-hmm.
having it in a prediction market, or even like imagine automating the trades based on like sports matches, right? So
Yeah, depending
like
on, yeah,
if you
yeah,
have
yeah.
if you have the fastest results, then
Mm-hmm,
like if you're getting the scores updated like immediately, then
mm-hmm.
you can trade in and out of those positions much quicker. But yeah, stuff like
Yeah,
this is
and you can use that to close positions as just a kind of uh sorry, I forgot, like uh loss, stop
a limit
loss,
order
sorry,
stuff.
yeah, yes,
Yeah,
so stop loss,
like a
so
dynamic
okay,
stop
yes,
loss.
a dynamic stop loss based on the news, whatever
We're
happens,
probably putting far too much faith in the machines and automation at
I
that
don't know,
point.
yeah, yeah, but I don't know, I mean, we can
Could be
dream,
better.
right?
But
We
like
can
we can
dream.
always dream that we can make money by doing nothing, right? That's one of the promises of crypto. Become rich by doing fuck all and having no
Just
skills.
buy something, sit on your hands, and I mean, the stocks market have been promising this for centuries,
Yeah,
basically. So that's
over
the
and over
same.
all.
Yeah. So now I wanted to highlight this modular media post just to, I mean, just stating what we've been talking about, the product market fit for crypto. But I just wanted to highlight Nick Presler. So this guy is building melee markets, and he has a really interesting, finally, about we get here, Finally,
we get to the super
he's
cycle.
talking about, okay, is this a super cycle for prediction markets? Just want to we can talk about Melee later, but I mean the focus is, okay, is this a super cycle for prediction markets? Basically, he states here, and I find this really interesting, that the first use case of crypto is speculation. Why? Because first we started to speculate on Bitcoin as a peer-to-peer electronic cash, although very few peer-to-peer payments are made nowadays. So after Bitcoin, we saw the ICOs boom, altcoin season, NFTs. You remember the food coins back during the altcoin season? And
Well, the food ones, like
the
the
food ones, yeah, the
yeah,
yam,
banana. Yeah. There's.
yeah.
I've still
So,
probably got a kebab token sitting in a BSC wallet somewhere. I just
no,
remembered that I have a BSC wallet. I totally forgot about it. I've not looked at it in ages. I hope there's money in there.
hopefully you'll have. Let me know. Let us know if you find
Yeah,
that.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah, so in the last cycle of speculation that we saw, maybe we are still on there. I don't know if that's dead. It feels like it's dead already, but I mean, it's meme coins.
Yeah.
So he states here, if I can be early to an asset as it gets adopted, I can make money. This is what
Mhm.
believe in. This is what Nick just said
Yeah.
that crypto promises. So what he states here is that, okay, people like to speculate, and the first use case of crypto is speculation. But speculation as it is broken, because he just says, okay, the hype goes out really fast, but the tokens are going to be there. But prediction markets changed that structure. And this is why he believes that prediction markets are a better way to speculate, because markets have set end times, so containing speculative energy to when the topic is relevant and users can understand why they won or lost money, leading to a more satisfying experience. And dude, makes total sense.
Yeah.
Why the
But
fuck
it
are meme
also
coins
depends on
pumping?
what you're speculating on, right? Because I
It
don't
is,
think
but
most retail understand why token goes up, token goes down.
that's the thing.
And I
So
don't think anybody, well, no, I think everybody understands why token goes down on meme coin is because they're rugged, right? So I think it's,
most of
yeah,
times, yes. But
well, yeah, pretty much.
look at H bar. Look
Yeah,
at Cardano, look at Polkadot. Why they pump and why they go down so fast? Why? I mean,
yeah.
if you go to see the users and the transactions, I mean, what's going on? And we know with meme coins,
It's pure betting, right? It's
it is, and I mean,
whales coming in and pumping it and then dumping it and then.
this is the point. I mean, in the end of the day, it is about speculation.
Mhm.
But when we go to prediction markets, is a set time frame for speculate, and it's easier to understand what's going on and why the price or the predictions are going higher for this or that outcome to happen. So basically, he states that prediction markets can drive people that are speculating in different markets to crypto. So this could be a use case for a transition from traditional avenues of speculation like sports betting in favor of prediction markets. And of
Mhm.
course, the same pain that everybody has in crypto, which is the UI UX. But we've also talked about this. It's not a matter of only finding good designers. It's a matter of infrastructure. So
Yeah,
how
yeah.
can you make a transaction without signing that on your wallets? You know, are you going to abstract wallets? But you will still need signature, because even though you abstract on a wallet, the wallet still exists. How do you
But
do
it is a
that?
feature, not a bug. Like I think everybody needs to
Exactly.
recognize that. Like the fact that you need to sign is a permission thing because you need to give the protocols permission. Where if it was centralized, they could just take your money, close your accounts. Like with prediction markets versus centralized markets, you're not going to get a case with a prediction market where they close your account and don't give you access to your funds.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
that all the time on betting markets, right? And probably traditional markets, things like that happened. I had a friend that had what was it? What wasn't Bitcoin Cash? It was Craig White one that I can't remember the name of right now because it's so irrelevant. But he had a bunch of that sitting on an exchange and he was just sitting there for ages and he closed his
Hmm.
account and kept it. That's not going to happen in crypto.
That's
That just
great.
doesn't
That's
happen in
great.
crypto, right? So there's a real safety aspect, a safety from the companies and the people that run those companies.
Yes, exactly. You
So
don't
that
need to trust. You don't need to trust the company who's creating that prediction market.
exactly, and even when you abstract wallets, you can still export your keys and put it into other wallets. So like
Yes,
we may generate those wallets for you and give you email addresses attached to it. Even MetaMask are doing that now, right? But in the end, you
hmm
have your own keys, and that's it. You can just access it with an email address.
that's it. Yeah, and that's part of infrastructure of what we have. You know, we
Hmm.
don't. We are not relying in anyone else to hold our funds. But
Hmm.
anyway, so moving forward here, he says that the peer-to-peer speculation should provide users better odds and liquidity than a sports book or traditional casino. I mean, you can get way more people in if you do it this way.
It's
So
not
why
just that;
this
like the odds are it's transparent how the odds are being played out.
exactly? Yeah, I
Where
mean
with
that's the benefit of the
bookies
blockchain.
and yeah,
You can see on
you're
chain
not
everything
even
that's going on.
entirely sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I mean
think about it. They make billions of dollars and can pay tens of millions of dollars in fines when they get things wrong. So like they're creaming money somewhere. Like the user is getting fucked somewhere in that process. Whereas I feel like the transparency and fee structure and how markets make money is a lot. Prediction markets make money is a lot clearer and a lot more upside for the user, right? I think.
yes, yes. I mean
I'd love
compared to
somebody to come in and actually like deeply talk about that. Actually, that'd be a really interesting thing to chat about.
yeah, yeah. So imagine with traditional betting. I mean, instead of having a regulatory body that will overview their activities, you have any user able to review what's going on in any prediction market built on chain.
Yeah,
As you can see, all the transactions. There are
yeah,
data analysts creating dashboards on Dune, so you can spot
hmm,
any flaw or anything else. It's there,
yeah,
transparent. So permissionless prediction markets don't work yet. And this is interesting. This is something that we've been solving at Groovy is the initial liquidity problem. So
yeah,
existing prediction market structure require high liquidity events or events with hedgeable expo- hedgeable exposure, which limits the scope of culture they can accommodate. This is something
exactly. Yeah,
we tackled a couple of days when we are discussing about the topics. Okay, what are the essential topics of prediction markets? I mean, how to spot them, and liquidity is one of them. How can
yeah,
you make big positions in markets without moving the predictions, I mean, to any side? And this is
mm,
a challenge which we are solving in Groovy, and he says that Melee Markets fixes this. Since Melee is not live yet, we exactly don't know how they are doing that, but let's see. I apply for the whitelist. I'm gonna ask him to give me access to that as well. So to finish this, he says the prediction market supercycle, what he states. So casinos, sports books, and news platforms have no chance to compete in their current iterations. As prediction markets gain awareness and retention, they will all be forced to adopt prediction markets in some form or become obsolete. As mechanics and distribution improves, even event-driven markets will replace all existing forms of speculation and monetize all forms of attention. I mean, it's bullish. It's bullish as fuck. I
it's
mean,
bullish. I think it. I don't know if I don't know if he's ever worked in the betting industry before. But obviously, I have. And
let's see where he worked
I had a
before.
call with some people just as we were booting up Groovy, and they are like big name, work for very big name companies globally,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just like fuck all that. Because they can't think outside of the walls created by regulation, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
for just as it was hard for Polymarket to become regulated, it's probably even harder to go from regulation to not regulation,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they would, and also if big betting companies got involved, they would shape regulation against the biggest competitors in that space,
Exactly.
right? So they
Yes.
would shape it against crypto, they would shape it against Polymarket and Kalshi, but they're kind of going the not regulated, but we're a regular
Mm-hmm.
sort of betting place,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's
Yeah.
I it's kind of like how at the beginning of crypto it was crypto eats the banks or the banks eat crypto. and realistically, it's kind of somewhere in between. But the banks are shaping the regulation around crypto, right?
Yeah, so
It's
the banks can involve
Coinbase
and
doesn't
use
have
that as a
much of a say
product.
compared to JP Morgan, right? Like they're not gonna listen to them in the same way. So it's bullish, but it's it's for the traditional betting industry to be involved in this. They they're not going to go like rogue and become uncompliant. They're just not going to do that. So
Mm-hmm.
they would need to like tickle the regulators and try get them to work a regulation that fits them, or
Mm-hmm.
they'll do the complete opposite and lobby the regulators and lobby the governments to shut these things down. Because
Yes.
I believe, like he does, this eats their whole dinner. They get fuck all because they extort and extract from the community of bettors they've got.
Mm-hmm.
Why
Mm-hmm.
would anybody use that when they understand this model is delivers the same sort of betting value and possibly bigger upsides and more clarity? Because there's really good. I mean, I should post them on the Twitter feed. There's really good videos on YouTube about people in the UK because it's a really high. You can bet anywhere in the UK for Americans that don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like cities or anything like that. Anywhere, and it's highly regulated, and the regulator actually has teeth. You can go to jail and stuff like that. But they do tend to not put people in big betting companies in jail. It's usually the smaller ones.
Yes,
Um,
just the small
and
ones.
there are videos of people documenting, sharing like bookie shop video footage of them being in there, not being allowed to take their money out because it's too much money, and the betting companies do not like people that win because it
Yeah, of
takes
course
out of
so.
their pot. Whereas
Yes.
prediction markets get paid whether you win or lose, so there's
Mm-hmm.
no bias in there whatsoever. And this is why it's better for everybody if we remove the traditional betting companies and the way they not remove the companies. I'm not saying anything bad about the
Yeah,
people,
but
but the way it's
providing a
set up
better
and the way their
structure too.
businesses make money is toxic to
Yes.
everybody who's betting on their platform.
But I wonder. So in a couple yesterday or a couple of days ago, we were talking about the difference between casinos and sport books and prediction markets. We also talked about how prediction markets does not substitute the news. So I disagree a little bit with part of this conclusion. Of course, is revolutionary, but part of this conclusion. So we are not going to see an in-house prediction market. People are still going to casinos just because they want to play for a game. It's a gaming stuff. I
It's
want
the
to go to
IRL thing,
Vegas.
right?
I mean, I don't want to go to Vegas, but people still want to go to Vegas to have a
I went to
drink.
Vegas. I hated
To
it.
yeah, I hate it. I don't like that
Well,
stuff, but I understand why people like it. Feels like a carnival. It feels like a party. So
but
that I
also
think that will still exist, and people are still going to be rugged on that.
because
But
casinos are everywhere in the UK, right? You can go out for a
okay.
night out, right?
We
And
don't
I've done
have
this
that.
loads of
We
times,
don't
right? You go
have
out
that
for
in
a night out, the
Brazil.
casino's open till 4 in the morning. You don't want to go to a club, you don't want to go to a bar, you want to go get a dinner. You want to go get steak and chips at 3:30 in the morning, right? And maybe gamble, right? You go to the casino,
You
right?
go
It
to a
provides all
casino.
this
Okay,
entertainment.
yeah,
The
yeah,
drinks are
yeah.
quite cheap, right? You can get good
Uh
drinks,
huh.
they're quite cheap. So like they're actually pretty good places to socialize, and it's not really loud. You can sit with your friends and talk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of your friends might bugger off to the roulette table and start throwing spreads all over the place. You're gonna have to take his money off him so he doesn't lose his whole bag. But there's a social aspect to gambling, which is fun. Like you were saying at the beginning, you'll be watching
Yeah.
a sports game, and your guy you might not be betting, but other guys might be betting in there, right? And
Yeah.
if you go into any of the Telegram groups that have, remember that one we were in, it was like really DJny Betty. I think it was
Uh
something to do
huh.
with
Uh
Rollbit
huh.
or Blockbit or some on
Mm-hmm.
chain gambling thing. It was super sociable. The guys are like chatting
It
away.
was.
So there
Yeah.
is something about having real
Making
life
friends.
betting
It's
places.
it's
Yeah.
making friends. It's the gaming industry. So why do you go to play GTA and do a live stream on Discord on Twitch just to talk to our friends?
Mm.
That's the fun part. I mean, you do that because it's fun. It's not because
Yep.
you have opportunity to make money or to prove that you are
Yeah.
correct. This is why there are some similarities, but what we are talking here about prediction markets, it's different. It's not only entertainment. It might have some entertainment attached to that, but casinos, okay, they take advantage of people, but it's for fun, right? It's fun.
Yeah. I
I
mean, it,
mean,
it
you're
depends what
playing
the
for
mentality of
that,
the
I mean,
person that goes in.
depending on how much money, of course, you make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, well, I think that's what I mean. Concluding, I don't think we are in a super cycle yet, but I think
No.
we are witnessing some elements of what can be a kind of, it's here to stay. Something that it's here to stay. Maybe not a super cycle. I wouldn't like to see a super cycle with prediction markets, because
Yeah.
actually it reminds me a lot of, okay, speculation is good, speculation will always exist, but when too much people join in too fast, it's not health for them and it's not health for the industry, because
Yeah.
some of
And we
them
saw
are
this
going
with
to,
meme coins, right? Saw it with
exactly,
meme.
some of them are
So
going to get hurt, and they will start to talk shit about the industry, and
I
we
feel
want
like
to
we
build stuff that are good for
that
people, are
lasts.
good for the community, and that lasts. That's it. So
Yeah.
that's
Because
my take on
Supercycle to
this.
me screams pump, right? And
Yeah.
I think fundamentally what will be, because after this run that we're having, it's going to be like, yeah, the prices will still be high and stuff like that, but there's going to be a lot of bullshit going on. Like Sailor's little fund collapses, Bitcoin will have a lot of damage done to its reputation. It will still survive. It will still be here in 10 years when it boots up again.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see, because obviously that's all changing. But what I do see surviving are prediction markets, easily, hands down, way over other DeFi products,
Mm-hmm.
because it's very relatable to the general public. Like they get it, right? I can show this to any guy in my street, and they'll be like, "Yeah, okay, that's betting. Okay, I can bet on my team." You know, like, yeah, I understand, right? And it's a really good use case for onboarding people and teaching people about crypto. For example, the multiple wallet signings, right?
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
and understanding, like, so I'm aware of a very, very big bettor in the UK who is blocked from every single betting company because he wins all the time. Not because he's
Mm-hmm.
dodgy, just because he really, really knows his shit in that sport. So he
Mm-hmm.
stares use other people's accounts, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen in Polymarket, right?
Not at all.
If
Yeah.
you're a whale and you want to come in and big bet big, the market's there. And
Yes.
there's loads and loads of people in the world who are getting blocked. They coordinate a blacklist between all of the betting companies that stop high rollers, like guys that can really win, from playing, because they takes money out of their pot, as opposed to, if you win, you just pay a bit of a transaction fee on the way out the door, basically, like part of the market goes to Poly Market,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Yeah.
it, and then everybody wins, and anybody
On,
can bet, and nobody needs to worry about how good somebody is at winning or losing.
yes. On a transparent on-chain prediction market, it's the other way around. I mean, if you are performing well, people are going to follow you. People are going to try and replicate,
Yeah.
and people will try to understand how you
Copy
do that.
paste.
Yes. Yes.
So if
That's the
you lose
thing.
your bag, if they lose their bag, then you lose your bag, and you don't understand
Yeah.
why you lost your bag.
That's it. But I mean, that's the game. That's the game.
Yeah.
So
All
okay.
right.
Yeah,
Should we wrap
guys.
up? One last shout
Yeah.
out. We
Before we
have
wrap up,
the
make
daily
sure to
prediction.
subscribe to the Daily Prediction. We are live every weekday. The dailyprediction.substack.com. All the top markets, everything important that's happening on prediction market is there. And Nick and I are going to be here live tomorrow once again,
Yeah. And that'll be
right?
this done for this week. And then hopefully for next week, while I'm away, we can find some interesting people to come on and talk to you
Yeah, if you're listening
and be
to us,
like you.
if you want to collaborate both with the newsletter and be part of the show, hit us a DM. Let us know.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for staying with us.